All right, guys, this episode is brought to you by Major Beauty. Your girl is about to hook you up because y'all know how I do my lashes all the time. And Major Beauty is going to offer $20 off your initial full set of lashes. And the first 6 months, you can also use this promo code HERR20 and you can get $20 off your membership because she does offer membership services. So she not only does eyelashes, she also does permanent makeup, those new henna eyebrows. If you're not ready to go full force on the tattooing of the eyebrows, you can try them out by getting this henna stuff done. I haven't tried it because y'all know I got microbladed eyebrows, but I do use Kiana for my lashes. She is my new lash tech. I'm loving her. She's great and she's super duper professional and you're going to love her little studio. So check her out, The Major Beauty. Make sure you use promo code HERR20 to get a discount off your full set and your membership for the next 6 months, guys. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Her Lounge podcast. We're on time this time as far as like, it's Monday. We didn't have to wait till Friday to actually record. So I'm so happy. We're slowly.
We got some time to get back on track, like to get everything set up.
Yeah.
So bear with us.
Yes. I'm excited for all the content we're going to start bringing. And just, everything we're planning on doing, all the talk and all the...
Yeah, I want to talk about that more in the episode for sure. I had some questions for you.
So I just thought like, let's, I want to, it felt kind of cool, to say I'm going to the office to go record. Cause I'm like, all right, Pete, I'm heading out. I'm going to the office. And I was like, bro, I have an office. Did you just hear what we said? We're not going to the studio or the garage.
I'm going to HQ, bro.
Yeah,
I'm going
exactly.
to HQ.
I was like, hey, I'm going to the office. I was like, what? I just said I'm going to the office. I was like, how dope is that?
I'm going to her HQ.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, before we get started, guys, y'all know I like to start with a positive quote. And I feel like this, not so much for me, but there's just been so many moving parts with moving.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just like, this was a little like learning experience, if that makes sense. So sometimes all you can do is accept there's not much you can do. And sometimes all you can control is how well you let go of control.
Oh, bro. Let me just say that is what you needed right now.
Totally.
I don't know if you found that because of that reason or you just stumbled on it, but from Friday when you were getting the coffee and the line was crazy and it was out of your control, I even texted you something along those lines. Yeah. But why did you pick that quote?
Because that's kind of how I've been feeling and looking at things lately. Because I was just telling you, I'm such an impatient person and I just want like everything to be done, right? Like hurry up and be done. I want to settle in. I want the girls' room is the first thing I did at the house and it's perfectly done, right? It's finished. The only thing I need to get is I ordered Penny a desk because we're homeschooling. So that will be the area where she homeschools. And that's why I set up the bottom half of the house where there's another living room. I did that as their game room area, put her little kitchen, everything. And to be honest with you, real quick, before we speak about this letting go of control and stuff, I've realized that she plays with everything now. I'll catch her even saying, I'll be back. I'm going to go play in my room because I separated toys. So I figured, on nights where when we read, afterwards, there is a TV in Penny's room, but it's a super old Samsung TV, right? And it's got an Apple thing connected to it, but she rarely watches TV. I just figured like when we start to do homeschooling, I figured if there's anything educational that she could watch, that could be something that we use for that. But she never turns on that TV. I don't think.
She'd rather hog the living room.
Yeah, for sure. So I've noticed that she'll say, and I actually,
it's never ending, guys. Patreon, by the way, patreon.com/Her Lounge Podcast. If you want to get premium episodes, they release on Fridays. These obviously release on Wednesdays. You can sign up for the email list at marisolherrera.com. Or if you just join the Patreon, you'll be a part of the email list as well. And that's 2 episodes now, but who knows when the new studio comes, how support grows, content might grow.
For sure. So here's something, speaking of that, sorry, they're doing my backsplash and they're asking me, so this is how dated. Remember I was telling you, they kept it immaculately, that house, but they still have very dated things.
Everything ages, right?
Yeah. So they still have an Ethernet connection to the wall. Like they must have gotten that specially done. But there's one connection in the kitchen that they have for that. And she's like, she's asking me, do you want me to remove that? Because actually, no, it's a phone line.
Oh, okay.
It's a phone line. That's not Ethernet.
I was like, if it was a Cat 5 Ethernet, that'd be great.
So she said, do you want them to take it off? She said the backsplash guy says no one uses that anymore. Ask her if she'd like for me to remove this. I said, yeah, go ahead and remove it. But they did do a cool plug, which is the plugs that just use the USB cord.
Yeah.
So that you can charge.
Nice.
I guess when you have guests, they can just go in and bring their cord in. So I thought that was kind of cool because cubes are always the issue.
Yeah.
You have an extra cube.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I've been asked that, but anyway, back to going to Penny. I noticed that she'll say, I built her vanity that was gifted to her on Christmas, and we're about to be July here soon. It's about to be her birthday.
Crazy.
It was given to her for Christmas. She was out of space in her room. I said, I told my mom, please don't give her any gifts. I said, you know what? I said, how about you just give her money? I put it in her piggy bank, and when she is ready or she's asking for something, we just go get her something, you know? She was like, I'm not doing that. She doesn't know nothing about money. And I was like, okay. So she had been wanted a vanity. I don't know where she got that from because it's not like I have one. So I was like, okay. So she got it for Christmas. I just finally built it over the weekend. And she is obsessed with going up there. She said she has a bunch of makeup. And so she goes, can I take my makeup upstairs to put it on by my vanity? I was like, okay, sure. So she was up there for hours and she was painting her nails. And I said, yes, paint your nails on this vanity and fuck it up if you want, but do not come downstairs with the paint. Do you understand that? Okay. So I was like, I don't care what you do to this vanity. Just don't get this on my walls, on
Anywhere
your walls.
else.
I was like, because you're going to be in trouble. I'm going to throw away all your nail polishes. Okay. And so, anyway, so I've noticed that because everything is out in the open, not in a closet, not in the some things are in the living room, some things are just kind of bunched up in a corner, you know, she's able to see everything now. So I'll catch her literally playing at the kitchen, you know what I'm saying, for a hot second. I actually see her using her washer and dryer that she asked for Christmas that was just kind of in her room, just there. So it was like by her bunk beds, but how is she going to use it if it's just by the bunk beds? It made no sense where I had it because it was like, okay. So it's there now. It's her own little section. So, you know, I love watching her to be able to play with stuff. I told Pete, I was like, it's her birthday's coming up. I was like, when people ask me what to get her, I don't even know what to say. Like, I want to just say like, get her clothes. I don't know. Like some kind of, like my sister got her which I thought was cool, a highlights and, National Geographic Kids subscription.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I thought those were great. She loves doing the finding the items and the hidden things, you know, in the highlights. That's the only thing she likes. I save them because those are things that I actually am able to read with her at night too. And we learn different things about lizards, about, you know what I'm saying,
for sure.
ants, which is why she doesn't like for you to kill stuff. Did I tell you about how I killed a June bug? And she said her family's going to come look for her.
That's hilarious.
And she's going to be dead. And I said, wow, if you didn't make me feel guilty about killing a June bug, you know what I'm saying? Like, seriously? So I was like, okay.
Dang.
We have a PETA on our hands.
Yeah, right? That's so funny.
So so it's really cool to see this. She's also said that she likes her new house.
So she settled in pretty well.
Yeah, she settled in very well, and she just really likes that her favorite thing, she says, is the stairs. She likes to go up and down the stairs. She also will not use the half bathroom that's downstairs. She goes all the way upstairs to the bathroom in her room because that's her restroom.
Oh, gosh.
She's willing to climb all the stairs. You can't pay me to do that.
Dude, I was never a fan of, you know, houses, two-story houses.
Me either.
Like,
I can't stand it. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it was kind of a deal breaker for the longest time. Now, I mean, in today's market, if you're looking and that's what you find, then fine.
Yep.
But it used to be non-negotiable. It's just, I don't know. I always had the fear with kids, too.
My fear was not with kids, to be honest with you, because you just buy one of those little, like, doggy door things, you know what I'm saying, and you're good. I just don't like 2 stories. Like, no. I like to just everything
like a big ass
house,
open
area.
platform.
Yeah. The stairs are beautiful, though. That's why it's funny that she says my favorite part of the stairs. they didn't make regular stairs at this house, so we don't have regular small stairs.
It's a spiral staircase?
No, they're super no. They're
okay,
super
okay.
wide, and so they're almost like, so imagine two stairs, like one of the steps, imagine two of those together.
Okay.
So they're pretty damn wide, so it makes it look really pretty to go up, you know.
Yeah.
So she said she likes the stairs. So just settling in. And the reason this whole quote, I actually had that quote already, so I didn't, like, it wasn't a last minute quote, is because over the weekend I was supposed to go with Chingo out of town, and I didn't go out of town. And it was like literally a decision that we had to make and say, one of us has to stay behind and finish up. There's no way I can go. And I was stressed out because that was our show. We were charging people to come in. I mean, we were selling the tickets, so we had to scam people to come in. I was like, okay, if Juan goes and he does this for us, my God, he's never done this. You know, I was like, just annoyed. And I was just like, the out of my control situation. That's what it was. And I was like, who told me this? I don't know who told me this recently. I was talking to somebody and they said, yeah, it sounds like you need to start like delegating. And I was like, bitch, you know, kind of thing. Like, you don't tell me, you know what I'm saying, what I need to do. But it was funny because I was having a conversation with someone, and I think she said that's when I realized like I was doing too much, because I started allowing other people to do things that needed to be done. And I realized that I was more efficient. And I think maybe I was a tad bit like, what the hell? Because she's right. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, you're right. But I'm such a controlling person. I like things a certain way. I know how to do them. And it's too much time to teach someone else. So why would I even take the time to teach you? You're going to ask me 100 questions. So that's going to take me longer. And that's going to take away from whatever else I have to do, which is why we've never employed really anybody. You know what I'm saying? Because I just don't have the time to sit there to train you for however long it's going to take me to train you, you know? But I did it. I told Pete, I said, you have to go by yourself. We'll let Juan handle this. I was like, I kind of sent a text of instructions, and I said, I have to do this. So I had to come in and I had to clean this entire house by myself, like get it emptied out. Was a lot of work. Like it was, I would take like, I took a 30-minute break to eat, and I was watching the Kardashians while I was sitting there, right? And I was like, then after a while, I felt like I'd been sitting there for a long time, but those episodes are only 30 minutes. So that's how I know I was only there for 30 minutes, you know? And so I was like, holy shit, okay, I got to get back on it. I was like, all right, get back into it. Like, change this before you sit here and, you know, binge watch all the fucking episodes because you haven't watched any of them, you know? So I like put music back on. I got back into my zone and I finished out. So all the rooms are pretty much empty, or well, they are empty, except for what I showed you was in the master bedroom, like the wall stuff on the wall.
Oh, on the wall.
The stuff in the closet is pretty much taken out except for my shoes. We needed like a whole.
So that's a whole day for that.
Yeah, we need a whole thing for that. But I'll tell you this, if it wasn't for the fact that they were high heels and I need my high heels, right? I am just fine with what I have here. So even the clothes that I still have left here that need to be brought over, like I'm just like,
do I need them?
I don't even need it, to be honest with you, because when have I worn them?
Why do you need your high heels? And how many do you need?
All of them?
No. Isn't there a staple for women? Like, you could answer this. Isn't there like, you got to have a pair of like black, red, maybe pink, beige, and you're kind of set with those four.
Well, this is what I told Pete. This is how I feel I could be okay with that. Okay? Black, red, tan, maybe one with some kind of pattern on it where it has like colors that kind of are more commonly used, which you'll find stuff like that, you know? I said, the only way I guarantee you that I could handle just having about 5 of those, right, was if they would be all red bottoms, because they cost so much. So now you buy that one and you're going to wear that bitch. Like my tan ones, I mean, they're there and I wear them. I wear them, hoes, because they're my only tan color shoe I have. I don't have, surprisingly, wedges I do for summer that are different. We're talking about heels here.
Yeah.
We're not talking about wedges.
We should just throw all your wedges out.
Oh, you don't like wedges?
I hate wedges.
Why?
I hate them. They're so unattractive to me.
If they're not cute, yes. I think mine are cute. Mine have like, mine
Wedges
like,
are for las tias who are just a little too old and still want some healer for whatever reason.
mine are pretty bomb though.
They all look like corkscrew fucking homeless
Oh
people
yeah,
wedges.
but you gotta remember, not all of them are corkscrew. Some of them now they come with they're colored. They match the entire shoe.
Oh, okay.
So mine are
just
not
colored stilts on. Cool.
Yeah, basically.
Fantastic.
So,
but heels with jeans, that's sexy as fuck.
I love heels with jeans.
Almost heels with anything is great.
This podcast is brought to you by Beauty Studio by Frida. Y'all, I just got my anti-aging hydrodermabrasion facial and my skin feels fantastic. I got this crazy pregnancy mask and I was told that the brown spots were not ever going to go away, but would get lighter. I didn't believe it either, but that day I actually left with those dark spots a tad bit lighter. And each time I'm going to continue to go, they'll get lighter. So I'm so excited about that. They offer all types of stuff here. I mean, I'm talking about threading, waxing, facials, permanent makeup, lash lifts, and a bunch more. They use top of the line equipment. They're super duper professional and it's super clean. Guys, you have to book your appointment today. Make sure you tell them that we sent you. Use promo code HERR and get in touch with them today. Book your appointment at beautystudiobyfrida@gmail.com or call them 713-448-9164. Yeah. So I wear those a lot, like, and you can tell because the bottom of the red is pretty worn, and because tan is such a color that you can get away with wearing everything, right? It's nude, as they would call it. Right?
That's what I was looking for, nude.
And so I told Pete, I was like, I'm gonna tell you what. Oh, I need a pink pair too. I have to have a pink pair of
I think I said
heels.
pink, but yeah, you for sure,
Yeah,
especially
I
you.
have to have it. So I said, if we could do that, right, then I'd have zero problem getting rid of all my shoes because they're very expensive, right? And then two, you're going to have to wear them because it's your only ones.
People, if you're tuning in for the first time, they're like, is this satirical? Is she being serious right now? Or is this satire?
Dad. Like, that's the only way the other shoes, they're not cheap shoes, right? I didn't pay like $20 for them, but they're super duper cute. They're from like Aldo, you know what I'm saying? They're from like, I'm trying to think of the real name, the new name. Macy's.
Oh yeah, Macy's.
I still call it Foley's. Sorry.
That used to be Foley's?
That was Foley's.
Oh,
totally.
Shit. What a terrible name. I remember that.
Totally Foley's.
It's just like all these stores suck. Mervyn's, Wieners.
Mervyn's was our jam. That's where my mom took us.
I totally. But also, the colors and the names suited the time perfectly. But then you get into like the 2000s, you're like, what the fuck were we thinking?
Okay, so weird thing is where I currently live, I live nearby a very old school Sears. That was knocked down, right?
I was thinking of Sears too. Yeah.
Okay, so it's been knocked down.
It's still there. Oh, they knocked it down?
No, they bought it. You should go see what that's going to become, Rob. That's why I'm like, I told Pete, I was like, see, you didn't listen to me, bro. I'm like, you didn't believe it. But
believe what?
They're about to make this crazy shopping center where all those homeless are. And I told Pete, I was like, I feel so bad because the other day I saw this,
don't feel that bad.
this COVID truck. I told you this? No? I feel like I told somebody this. I saw a COVID truck pull up and they were really nice. At first, I remember Marissa's like, they got to do the test on somebody.
Oh, I guess you did mention it. I guess I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, and so
you were talking to her, not me. But go on.
I was like, somebody's got to get tested. They got to do
keep the numbers up.
Yeah. Guinea pigs on somebody. I was like, damn, that's true. Anyway, they were being nice enough to like clean them up, so they're trying to clean up that area. I realize it now. I saw the state of the art, fucking insane shopping center they're going to make there. I mean, it's going to have a river. It's going to have all the high-end stores there, like fancy restaurants. I mean, they're going out. And I'll tell Pete, I was like, well, that's going to take a while. But when that happens, I'm like, cash cow house right here. I'm like, yes. I said, so now, I said, the thing is going to be for us to always make sure that we keep it up to date and not allow it to get, see, my house is pretty up to date. It's not like dated. I don't have like, old cabinets or,
but between now and like 10 to 15 years.
So I said, as style keeps moving, we can't let like an old AC to happen. We can't leave like old things like that. I said, because when time comes, we'll always be able to, because this is not going to be our headquarters forever. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be able to lease this. I'm like, so we need to keep it up so that we can charge $5,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? $4,000 a month. I mean, we can already get kind of already that, and it's not even.
No, it's just the area.
It's just the area. Yeah. So I told him that. I was like, so I said, this starts to happen. They've already blocked off the construction part area so that they can start, I guess, demolishing shit and, get started. But I can't wait because that's, you know what I'm saying? I told him, I said, these poor homeless, I don't know where they're putting them, Rob, but they're slowly disappearing. Listen, when you live in a certain area, you start to remember the homeless, right?
Right.
So I haven't seen my 2 deaf guys in a while. There was 2 deaf guys. They always worked together. One worked here and one worked like a catty corner from him. And I haven't seen them in a while. And I'm really worried about them. And I told him, like, man, I wonder what corner they moved to or what area they moved to. And so he goes, so you're only worried about them because they're deaf? I'm like, well, it's different. When you're hearing, I was like, you can just go anywhere and they're going to help you. I was like, when you're deaf, it's harder for you to find help. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's not that many resources.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
They might not have heard the train coming.
Oh, that's so fucked up. I'm not even going to laugh at that, Rob. That's so fucked up. But anyway, Jesus Christ, y'all. Forgive him, y'all. Forgive him.
Come on.
I don't know where they are, and I'm worried about them. But anyway, you start to know them, so they're all slowly disappearing.
Well, when they get closer to you, you're going to be like, shit.
Well, Pete said, he goes, what happened to the one that was like chubby? And then all of a sudden he was like buff. He started losing all this weight. But then he was like ripped.
He turned into Carrot Top.
And then he cut his beard. He had a big old barbon beard.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's all clean cut. And I was like, who's this guy? I was like, oh shit, look, Peter. He's like, man, he lost weight. I'm like, man, he's cut. I mean, he looks like about to go on stage to compete. Like, he's like cut. I don't know what happened, but
side note, the Ronnie Coleman's coming to town for the first time.
No.
I sent you. I think I thought I sent it to you, but yeah, Ronnie Coleman's having his event here at NRG for the first time ever because it's always by Metroflex in Dallas or Fort Worth or whatever. But it's gonna be a huge show.
I can't wait. I'll have to go to that.
And they're gonna have a huge expo.
That way it can give me another little push.
Because usually one of the biggest shows is probably the Branch Warren one when it comes to like big names.
That's the one was my first one.
Right.
That I competed in.
Yeah, it's a lot of people's like big show that they do here in Houston, but it's pretty cool. Like, who doesn't love Ronnie Coleman?
Who doesn't?
What
love
a legend.
Totally. Just the body though, it was crazy.
Yeah. Sorry, but anyway, back to where we were.
So I forgot. Yeah. So anyway, same thing with my area. The new area I moved in. Same thing is happening. They're slowly like pushing everybody out. You see they're getting rid of these little stores. They're actually getting rid of the stores over there. They have not gotten rid of the stores here.
They're in cahoots around here.
I was like, if they can get rid of these damn stores, we're going to be even better.
Yeah.
But they haven't done that over there. I actually see them already like empty, like they're closed. So either an investor came in and bought them, or maybe they've already been abandoned for a while. I don't know, but you can tell that they're starting there. So I'm literally right down the street from me. They're building new high rises, catty corner. They're building high rises. So granted, then you go to the other side and there's a brand new shopping center, but then there's another old ass shopping center, what the Washateria. I never understand like I don't ever understand how gentrification, the process works. I mean, I see it, I live it, right? But I never like, how do you decide? Well, this one looks good, so I'm gonna make a brand new shopping center here. But fuck, this one has a Washateria. I don't want to fuck them up yet. Like, I don't want to get rid of like their resource. I don't know how those decisions are made or who makes them. I don't know if it's investors and the city of Houston that come together. Sure. It has to be that, right? So I don't know if they say we can't get rid of the Washateria yet, y'all. I got to give them some time. I don't really know how that happens, but it's interesting to watch. We got to witness it here slowly. I mean, we watched the transformation of Emancipation Park, about how it started, you know what I'm saying, when it was being built. We couldn't wait for that to open. We've seen all these high rises here, just more and more and more and more. I mean, they're everywhere. They're now even being built in between houses here in the neighborhood, which is kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who would do that. But I told Peter, I was like, oh, if they're going to start knocking down these older homes, I was like, oh, it's going to be some paper for me. It's going to take a lot for me to fucking let you buy my house. You know what I'm saying? We are not fucking. And I said, I'm going to be that house in the Heights. So where Penny goes to jiu-jitsu. So if you're not watching this, but if you're listening, imagine a house, like an old school house, and it's still nice. Don't get me wrong. It's not like even falling down. It's not like old. It's just an older home, but it's nice. It's been well kept. So it sits in the middle and literally in like a half a square, because it's missing the middle part of it, right? So it's just like a cul-de-sac, I guess I would say. And they built high rises all around it, like as if that house said, you still ain't giving me enough. Like, you're still not offering me enough money for you to knock down my house. So they had to build around it. It looks trippy. It looks trippy because it almost looked like that would be the leasing office.
Oh, right.
And then all the townhomes.
It looks like a monument. Like, what?
It was almost like they said, nope, it still ain't enough money for you to buy my house. So when you come up with some cash, come back. That's how I feel like it looked, because all the other ones got knocked down. They built the high rises around them.
You got to think though, like, your taxes go up with that. They're just going to tax you out of the area. At some point,
that's
it's
exactly what they
returns.
do. Of course, that's exactly what they do. But you got to remember, a lot of these people, their houses are paid off in these areas too. So if they've been keeping up with their taxes, hopefully,
I was going to say, then your house. It's funny because you never own your house for as long as you live. The federal government will always get whatever you have to pay for what's on top of that.
Even when it's
land.
paid off, you still have to pay taxes.
Yeah. So it's like, you talk to old heads, my dad, grandpa, Theos and shit. They're like, you pay for these houses 3, 4, 5 times over sometimes, depending on where you live, because taxes are so damn high.
Yep.
So, and I say that just because I was listening to just people talk on the way here of like how what the market right now, like all the gains that people have made in the last 16, 18 months are gone by for the reasons of inflation, crypto, Wall Street, housing, like it's all just really going to shit. So if you're putting your money in that, just hold it, because if you sell it now, you're fucked. You're losing way more money.
My aunt texted me the other day, maybe 3 days ago. She said, damn, did you sell right in time?
Yeah.
I said, really? She goes, and damn, did you buy right in time? The funny thing is, whenever we were buying that house, my aunt said, hey, I need all this paperwork signed today. Because, we were running around doing shit. She goes, like, today. If you want me to lock you in at this rate, you have to sign everything today. Otherwise, I don't know what tomorrow's rate will be.
Yeah.
And so we need to do it. She's like, and I don't want you to pay this crazy rate. And then you're gonna be like, no, I'm not buying a house anymore. You know what I'm saying? So we wanted to avoid that. I was like, cool. And luckily we did, because
I feel like it's doubled since y'all started the process.
Well, my aunt sent me a screenshot. She goes, you see what I was telling you? I got to try to find it and I'm gonna send it to you. And then she was like, literally, Rob, we signed, and then I guess she got an email from who she works with, and they showed her like it's not that anymore.
Yeah.
And I was like, what in the world? That is crazy times right now. But my aunt said, you're so lucky you literally just bought, and you're so lucky you literally just sold. She goes, so we were trying to buy another one in December, right? That was the goal, kind of, right? And my aunt's like, I don't know if that's a good idea now. She's like, I think you should probably just wait to see until everything kind of, she goes, eventually it has to go back down. She goes, so everything has to get back to like normal, right? She's like, so eventually it will. She goes, but right now I don't see it in the next 6 months getting any better. She's like, so just wait. Maybe that allows you to gain more money. That allows you to have, from in case you end up wanting to, because I want to attempt to fix her upper this time. And so I know I'm really scared, but I think it's time.
Go with your bad self, Joanne Gaines.
I really want to try fix her upper now, because I found a trusted person that will like a
GC, general contractor.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think funny thing. Did Pete tell you about Bobby? Did he?
I think so.
Bro, I wasn't going to go with him. I wanted another quote, right? And just because you're not supposed to go with the first quote you get, right?
Get at least 3, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I had in my head a number, because I decided to go, even though I knew it would be probably a little bit less, because contractors get different prices. They get better prices on material than we do. I was going based on Home Depot prices, okay, which are higher.
Yeah, just like regular retail prices. Yeah.
So I had a rough estimate of what material would cost me for what I wanted, based on my measurements, based on what I wanted to do, based on what I watched on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Roughly like what it would cost, what it cost them. Then I was really in my head and saw a bunch of people who did it themselves. And I was like, well, fuck, maybe I could do it myself, right?
Do not.
And then I was like, okay, this is probably not the house to do that in. If you want to test anything, maybe you should go do it in Isabella. Right? You know what I'm saying? And so anyway, so I went out. We went to Home Depot one day, and I literally like a little old lady with my pen pad. All right, so how many square feet? Okay. And I'm like sitting there writing, all right, so if we could eat da-da-da, and I'm like, the calculations, I added it all up. I was like, okay. And I was like, labor. Now I'm going to need to figure out labor. And I didn't know how to figure that out, right? And so I just kind of had this other number in my head, right? And I just kind of assumed that's about what labor would cost. And then when he quoted me, it was like really high. And I was like,
whoa, bro.
Ooh. I was like, yeah. I was like, so maybe I'm going to have to wait. Like I had already prepared myself emotionally for that, even though I was going to be very disappointed, right? I was like, I'm just going to have to find 2 other people to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like 2 other quotes, you know? And here's what I didn't want to do, to be honest with you. I didn't want to have to go look for the electrician, even though we have a friend who does it already. I didn't want to have to find a plumber. I didn't want to have to find, like, when you're the general contractor, you have to find each person individually. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If there's a general contractor that you have already, who already has his crew, granted, you're probably paying the premium because they have their crew already. You know what I'm saying? But like, honestly, it'd be of like, oh, tile guy, excuse me, backsplash guy, how much? Okay, can I get your number? Type of thing,
pain in the ass.
Exactly. And so I just said, let me just get 2 more quotes. I was like, I had a different number in my head. And I said, and I'm going to tell you the number that I had in my head. I said, and this is why. And I literally sent him my calculations. And I know this person from junior high.
Wow.
That's how long I've known him for a while. And I said, let me tell you why I had these calculations. I said, but I don't do this for a living. I said, I'm literally just going based on my own research and my own pricing. I said, and I know y'all get better pricing because my dad was a construction worker. I would help him. So I know this.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? I know this.
I got the receipts.
So I'm like, I know this is not what you pay for. I know that this is, I get that material is non-negotiable, but labor is negotiable. You know what I'm saying? Like labor fee can be, but I don't think material can't, because you can't help what they're charging. Right. But I know that you can be, I know you have to work with
some kind of. You're just looking for a fair price.
Yeah,
on the
exactly.
Labor. Yeah.
So when I told him where I thought the number should be, he was like, let's do it. I was like, what? Well, bro, if that was the case, why didn't you just do that in the beginning? You know what I'm saying?
You got to try to make his.
So, exactly. I was like, okay, I said, this is the number I had in mind. I was like, so let me just let me get 2 more people to come in and let me just see what the happy medium is. I was like, and then I'll let you know. He goes, if that's the price you had and that's your budget, he goes, I'll go ahead and meet it. And I said, well, yeah, okay. Well, if that's the case, I'm not even going to go ahead and get the other 2.
Waste another day, 2 days to do everything else.
And I don't think, and I'm not just saying that because I know him, but I don't think, to be honest with you, and I'll tell you what that amount was after, I don't think anybody else, they would have been a little bit more kind of in the middle of his price and what my pricing I thought was. Yeah. I think that's where I would have.
He probably would have pushed back if it was below what he thought was fair.
Yeah. And I think he knew, that's a fair price. That makes sense how you came up with that. You see what I'm saying? So I know that the most tedious work is the cabinets.
Oh yeah.
Because you're having to sand them down, and you have to do a very good job with those, because if you fuck those up, the paint, I'm getting white paint and you're covering doo-doo brown cabinets. You see what I'm saying? And they can't leave the little like dust on there. They just have to be done very well to where you also don't see streak. You know what I'm saying? I know that because I got them done here at my house.
Oh yeah.
Remember they were doo-doo brown too here? And so although here it looks like they customed it themselves. So anyway, this podcast is really boring for everybody right now. They're like, who the fuck cares? But if you've done home repairs and remodeling, then you understand where I'm coming from, because you're like, yep, you have to go out there and figure it out yourself. So my point to that is, I feel like I found someone who would work with me to where now I'm willing to go in there and buy a fixer upper and be like, do the same thing. I'm going to go search for the material. Right. And here it's different because you're going to buy a little bit more basic, because it's either you're going to flip it or rent it. I'm probably going to rent it. But you're going to have to get more basic things, laminate floors. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to get, just probably prefab cabinets, prefab countertops, you know what I'm saying? All those things, basic kind of refrigerator, microwave, stove. You see what I'm saying?
Things that if your tenants are going to mess up, it's not
exactly. So it's probably material will probably even be less there, just because you're not getting the nicer things. Like, I'm picking nicer things. It's going to be my home for a while. And at first I was going to consider going the so route, because I said, I'm only going to be here about 3.5, 4 years at the most. I'm like, And I said, but wait, that's a long time to look at something if you don't like it 100%. I was like, I want to be able to like being in my kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Now I feel like I'm willing to entertain. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
so I just kind of feel like, no, this is no, I'm going to go ahead and go just,
You're going to do it once, do it right.
Yeah, I'm going to do it right. I said, and also if you think about it, I don't know if I told you or if Pete told you, but we went in with equity already in this house.
I think he mentioned it when I first got it, which is great. Our house
was appraised way over than what we bought it for, which I was telling Pete, I was like, if I were those people, I'd be pissed that my realtor didn't do their job.
Due diligence.
Because my aunt made me get an appraisal of our house that we sold before we even kind of gave a price, just so that we knew like, okay, this is the max we could get. And we got, trust me, bro, we got what we bought it for. We did well.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got one of my brothers sold his house and did really well. One of my best friends from high school just sold one of his rentals and did so well that his realtor was like, if you don't sell it now, you'll never see this kind of return.
That's exactly what my aunt said to me. She goes, and I had bids galore.
Yeah.
Trust me, I had bids galore. I mean, real estate is crazy. You know what I'm saying? I don't really, like, I can't say I'm an expert at it. It's a lot of learning as you go.
Yes. So the whole time you're talking, I'm waiting to bring this up. So, you know, we met with Manny, right? Manny Prado a couple weeks ago. Did you know Manny before that day? Did you know him from anywhere? Because I know you had a lot of similar, like,
no, we seem to have gone to the same junior high. But remember I told you I was in a little area where they kept like kind of the kids.
Oh, you troublemakers?
No, it was kind of like the kids that they thought, like, felt like they had hope for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All the
yeah.
rest of them were like in general public. I hate to say that. So I don't know if he went and I just didn't, you know.
Yeah.
Like.
So Manny's got a really interesting story, right? And we had him on RPT initially, and he told us all about his experience and, you know, coming from Honduras. Was it Honduras? Or Guatemalan? Damn, I'm blanking.
I think Guatemala.
I'm having a Joe Biden moment right now, but he's a really good activist. We're not activists, but like he's basically boots on the ground for exiled communities from different countries that have, you know, dealt with poverty or communism or socialism and all this kind of stuff. And I'll get the elevator pitch better next time. But him and I have been talking back and forth, and he's taken a position with Leave It Initiative down in the Valley, who's a big backer of Myra for Congress and is doing a lot of great things for the Hispanic communities around Texas and beyond with their areas, who they vote for, how to understand economics and prosperity and so on and so forth. So Chingo and I have been talking, when we get into this new space and it's all done, he wants to create more content, which is great. Whether it's a podcast for him where it's like he has more of his music celebrity buddies in and they talk about nothing political, obviously, and then we do the political stuff. And then I've been thinking as well, I wanted to do something. And as this space grows and we want the audience to grow, the audiences are pretty much going to be well-informed, like family-oriented Hispanics of sorts. So Manny and I have been talking and stuff, and I was like, you know what? I want to do this show. Are you familiar with Earn Your Leisure? So
of course,
I've been listening to EYL. I told him since before they had like 1,000 followers on Instagram, and I want to take what they've done and emulate it for the Hispanic community. And Manny's kind of like the best person to like help me kind of with this idea. So we're gonna meet. He's actually starting his position or like being onboarded with a Leave It Initiative today. They're gonna come on board and back RPT, which that's what we talked about that day. And then I presented this idea to him. He's like, this might be something else that we can also have backed by Leave It Initiative. So the idea is this umbrella of economic prosperity for Hispanics, where this is the way he phrased it. We need to understand, like our communities need to understand economic prosperity in the orders. For starters, if we talk 101, it's like banking, investments, and real estate. How banking works, how you need to understand it for you and your family, investing in the real estate. So we're going to meet for coffee. Or
investing general,
I feel. Just in general.
My parents were not risk takers. I don't know if yours were, but mine did. I think the only risk taking they took was they were always self-employed.
Same.
So that was about it as far as risk taking is concerned, you know, which is a big risk, obviously, you know, and both my parents were
But there's so much to understand being self-employed.
And
you just don't know sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. I think I told you this. I told you that when we're in the when we finally gets everything set up, I want to have a financial advisor come in. You know what I'm saying? I want for people to come in and talk about budgeting. You know, I want someone to come in and talk about like couponing. You know what I'm saying? Like those things that I feel like, I think I told you a long time ago when I had put a poll on social media on my story, and I said, hey, what type of videos would y'all like to see on my YouTube? This was YouTube. Someone said, have you ever thought about doing a budgeting video? And I was like, oh damn, that's hard because I ain't trying to show y'all all my shit. You know what I'm saying? But it makes sense. I can make up some numbers, right? Make up some like, okay, that hypothetically should this be, you know, and then just kind of show y'all what I do, because I think everybody does different. Like everybody talks about the Dave Ramsey theory, right? And how he does it. But there's this other lady that I follow, and I can't think of her name right now, but she created her own thing, and she sells these planners. They're budgeting planners, right? Because she couldn't go based on 6 months. Like her brain didn't think that way. Her brain was right now, this month, I need a budget for the month. I need to save for the month. And then it starts to accumulate for 6 months. Does that make sense? You're working towards the 6 months, but you're working for now. Like you're window. Not exactly. You're not. She goes, that much ahead brings anxiety to me. That much ahead, like just planning that far ahead. And she's a planner. She's got like 8 kids. Yeah.
Damn.
And with her budgeting, she's still able to tithe to the church. She's very involved in the church. She's able to still do her community donations. I still can't do that. I told you I've been wanting to do that. Like not that I can't financially. To me, it still hurts. Like, do I want to give up that money yet? I don't know. What if something happened? That's my thing right now. I told Pete, I was like, I've realized, and I know everybody thinks that this is crazy, right? Like I know that. But I've never felt like I had anxiety about anything. Like I felt like I'm always pretty good, but I think I officially have diagnosed myself with anxiety because.
Please, I can't wait to hear this.
The more I thought about, like people talking about, have you started to save? And we need to have, as soon as we kick off over there, I want Just here on the podcast.
Okay.
Because I've continued to go down prepping rabbit holes, right? And so I listen, look.
Oh, have you checked the P.O. box, by the way, lately? No, she sent me a package. She said it's in the P.O. box.
I just got a new little thing, like a new little blank spiral.
For
right?
what? How many do you have?
I'm getting a bunch, but I have to have separate. I can't have them all together.
Yeah, but you have one for every day.
No, I have one for everything. Okay, this is my to-do list one. If you're watching, this is our show and tell. This is my to-do list one.
I love to show and tell. Bro.
My goals one. This is a really cool one.
That one, I understand. Look, that one. I understand.
You write your goals, and then you can you write when you complete them.
Oh yeah, or then you can read at the end of the week when you didn't do anything.
Yeah, and then you're fucking like, that's the anxiety. There you go. And then so I got a new one.
So you only have 3 on you today? Well, that's a low.
This is the 3 that I need to kind of
work on.
Okay. And this is going to be my prepping one. So we're talking about, I'm going to write like shit in here because she talked about books to get. So I'm like, all right. I was tired of like going back and forth through the
Discord
conversations on the Discord, even though we have a one just for survival, but we have so much conversation. I was like, fuck, where did she say that medical book was? And I'm just like going in there. So I was like, I'm going to sit there one day and just go through the entire conversations on there and write everything down. Because remember I told you I have a list on my phone of things that I'm going to start to get because I saw this other prepper lady. And so I just want to be very prepared. I have 2 pantries, and although the second, and Pete, of course, like here's my thought already coming in, like, oh fuck yeah. So I said, this is gonna be our prep closet. He's like, yeah, it's not big enough. I'm like, bro, I know, but it's a starter one. We don't even
start somewhere.
I was like, we don't even have 4 extra cans of anything, so quit making it seem like, oh, it's not big enough. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hold on a second, like, you know,
dude, if people just saw the way you and Shingo interact on a day-to-day basis, they'd be like, oh my god, fuck the Kardashians. You know what I mean? Like, let's put a camera on these Mexicans because Jesus Christ.
We are like, but you know what I think it is? It's because we both have so many like ideas and we get frustrated with executing, right? Like it's not happening.
I thought you said with each other.
No, well, I mean, I think everybody gets frustrated with their, you gonna tell me you and Don don't get annoyed with each other? I mean, come on now.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, but the funny thing is I can't live without him.
You say that until later you're like, you know what? This is goddamn peaceful.
No, I was like, the whole time he was gone, I was like, fuck, man, life sucks without him. Like, I just can't do life without him. And it sounds like the cheesiest shit ever. Like Marissa, her husband being gone for so long. I don't know how she does it. That's amazing. Like even military people, like how do you just like deal with life. Like, I just can't. Like, he's my partner. He's my buddy. He's who I talk to. He's who I go have coffee with. He's who I go, you know what I'm saying? Anything with, you know what I'm saying? Like, so for me, it was like, damn, there's a lot of days gone. I don't think I've ever like experienced this many days gone. You know what I'm saying?
Did that add to the anxiety that you're about to get to of why you have?
Yes. So, well, my anxiety comes more from thinking about, you know, the prepping part of it and like the economy. I mean, I told you that the other day. I was like, we have got to prepare because I'm not allowing another pandemic to get us again. Like, I'm not allowing that. Like, it can't. Like, I have got to be prepared galore to where I'm prepared for you. I'm prepared for Luisa. I'm prepared for things because we need to keep going. Like, I'm not going to fucking let this government fuck me again.
I'm glad you said government because I'm trying to think of who it was, which, by the way, Tim Kennedy was on Rogan this most recent episode. Really good. I recommend you hear it. He talked a lot about his combative classes, his private school, all the things that, you know, we're interested in. But it was either him or Colion Noir, the gun activist from Dallas, who was also on just before Tim.
Oh, yeah. Marissa was talking about it. I need to listen to that one.
It's so good. I love listening to him. But one of them mentioned that, like, when we refer to what happened in the last 2 years, to stop calling it because during the pandemic or because of the pandemic, it was because of the lockdowns. Everybody suffered because of the government lockdown, not because of the pandemic itself. Yeah. which is a really good
true.
point.
Yes, yeah, it's exactly what it is.
Point. Yeah, you said the exact same
thing. I'm not going to allow that to happen. And if you're listening to this, do not allow that to happen. Like, don't allow yourself to let them fuck you over again. And I'm pissed that I wasn't prepared for that.
And don't let them turn on your neighbors. Don't turn on your neighbors.
Don't. Like, what they don't want you is to stick together.
For sure.
So if you stick together, they're so screwed. They're like, oh shit, people like each other? Wait a minute. So this racist division? Wait, you do like transgenders? Hold a minute. She's not supposed to like transgender guys. Like, wait a second here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're doing everything, but what people don't understand, I feel like if you stay together as a community and you work together as a community, it's like
power in numbers.
Yeah. And it's the simplest thing. Check this out. The lady we bought the house from said, it would be great if you guys could keep this going, but my neighbor puts out the trash for us. And when we get home, we put up the trash bins. And I was like, well, that's fucking nice. You know? So the guy, or I don't even know who it is that lives next door, to the left of me. I've never even seen them yet, still to this day.
You haven't met your neighbors?
It is the smallest little community. When you come, you're like, how the fuck, Marisol? If you farted outside, they all heard you. So why don't you know anybody yet? We've just been so busy.
Sure.
But,
understandable.
So the guy to the left of me, he gets my trash can, because I was like, who the fuck put my trash out? The next day I was tripping. I was like, I woke up thinking, damn, hurry up, go put the trash out because you forgot. And the trash can was out there already. I was like, oh yeah, Susan did say. So then
was Shingo like, yes, one less thing I gotta do.
So then I went and ran errands. When I came back, they were done. I put his up, or hers. I don't know who lives or next, who my neighbor is. And then I put mine back. I was like, this is great. I said, and this is where I'm going to. Can you imagine if we all helped each other like that? Like, oh man, I know that mom right there is a single mom and she's got 3 kids. The least I can do is put out her trash for her, you know, and then she can put her bin back by herself. You know what I'm saying? One less thing for her to do. Yeah. But can you imagine if we did that? The government would go insane. They wouldn't know what to do with so many people who liked each other. But heaven forbid that happened, you know?
Yeah, that's why one of the reasons, I mean, talking to Manny about this podcast idea, because I mean, podcasting serve a lot of purposes, right? We listen to a variety of shows, entertainment, just flat out junk, almost like Kardashian type, educational, news, all that stuff, right? But you got to find a lane and kind of just try to better that lane, like. Or you could go it's either be educational, be entertaining, or be flat out like just sometimes nonsensical. Like Tim Dillon, like one of his videos recently got age restricted. Like you have to be logged into your YouTube account and be confirmed that you're 18 or older, because he was saying that one of the ways to cure the homeless problem in LA would be to just boil all the homeless people in a big, just crazy, like dark humor, right? And they were like, well, it's clearly satirical. Like, yeah, but it goes against the guidelines. So anyway, it got restricted. My point is like you could that could be your method of podcasting, which is great. People pay for entertainment because we need entertainment, but you also want to be able to listen to Her Lounge and get other voices like Jackie, who hopefully will be back on, and somebody who can teach you how to budget, and then you talking about your investing and like life experiences. Manny and I may be talking about investing and banking and shit, and having him, he's like, I got people I can put us and connect with who went from cart pushers and toilet cleaners to multimillionaires. Great. How did they do it? Let's talk about this blueprint for other Hispanics, right? And you and I always say too that like, I don't necessarily like this identity politics thing, but if we know that brown people are listening to us, why would we not try to help people that look like us?
Exactly.
It is what it is.
Trust me, all I want is for that's my hope. I mean, my herpreneur box.
Yeah.
That's all I want. It's like if you can help, if I can help other women who are starting their business push it, which by the way, y'all, speaking of, so I just happened to talk about my herpreneur boxes at the Hive the other day, and so many women were willing to come to try to do it, which I thought was crazy. So I'm really excited for you guys. I know y'all haven't gotten your, let's see, May, June. So the box that I'm sending Wednesday is for June and May, which is going to be the 2 t-shirts, the Get Right with God. He finally has them.
Nice.
And
well, you haven't even announced that one yet, dude.
This, y'all. And we have a podcast shirt officially.
That looks so cool.
It does, right? I thought so too. The only thing is, I think this pink needs to be my pink, like my brand pink, versus I'm not really sure what pink. I think that's almost like a.
Well, the circle around, right? Is that pink? Is that darker pink?
No, the circle around is actually, it's still the wrong pink. What is the name of this? I think this is called like salmon pink.
Well, the pill's 2 pinks, right?
Yes, these are my colors.
Okay.
These are more my colors. So if this would have been more this color, although it kind of looks like it, but I don't know. Anyway, but it's a perfect shirt. I love it.
The logos, I mean, was that High Def Willie?
Yep, that was High Def Willie. So shout out to him. Here's the other thing though, that I keep saying, Her Lounge podcast, but it's not Her Lounge podcast. It's Her Lounge, a podcast by Marisol Herrera. And that's what I keep doing. I fucking need to promote that shit. So my next shirt is going to have it on the back, and it's just going to say Her Lounge, right? Like the whole thing, the way it was designed, it's going to be it. So FYI, y'all.
Wait, run it back. So instead of saying Her Lounge podcast,
it's Her Lounge, a Marisol Herrera podcast.
Okay.
Because it's, hello, my name needs to be on there so y'all know who your host is. Thank you. Bye-bye. I'm going to do like Anthony.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.